Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so very much for joining me today on this well-awaited video. I know that everyone who's known me before or seen me before and they see me now have been asking me, what are you doing? Why? How's it that you shook off so much weight and things? What are you doing? Share the secret and things. So I've been promising everybody, like, I don't want to get into it explaining everyone one by one or one at a time or whatever. So I thought, let me just use my channel, and everyone that wants to know what I'm doing can just come to my channel and watch my video. So since we are on that, please subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel. Like my videos, please comment, ask your questions. But I would love to have you as part of the D family or the D squad or part of my DDs. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, another thing I just want to highlight or disclaim on this video is that I am not a doctor. I am not a physician. I am not an endocrinologist or a weight loss specialist or whatever. So, I'm going to try and just explain to you this medication that I'm on, that's helping me lose the weight, as in a little bit of a faster pace than I would normally. So I hope you're not going to be queasy about the whole medication that I'm on. So also, just another thing I want to highlight is that I'm just telling you or explaining to you how this medication works with me. I'm just going to give you my experience and my input on how I am experiencing how this medication is working for me. So that out of the way, let's get into this video. So now guys, as I told you, but you can go watch part 1 and part 2 of this video. But as you can see, the title also still has something else on the title on the video, and that is the name of the medication that I'm on. So the medication that I'm on that is helping me with weight loss is the medication is called Ozempic. So it basically looks like this. This is the box, right? Or basically this is the box, but that is how it's spelled. I put it in the title as well. So basically, this is where it becomes a bit queasy. This is basically a injection. So it looks like this. This is what it basically looks like, right? According to my research, this medication falls under diabetic medication, but I am not diabetic. It's also classified or also falls under weight loss medication, and I will tell you why later in this video. Now, we'll put it aside. I'll show you again something. So, how I got introduced to the medication basically was at the hospital. Like I told you guys, that first few days was a bit queasy for me. I don't remember much of that because I felt like I was traumatized. I was introduced to pain medications and medications and stuff like that to my body. So I was totally out of it sometimes, So I can't remember some conversations with my doctor verbatim, So I can't quote him on that. He came to me, he said to me, there's this new medication that has hit South Africa, right? Overseas, they've tried and tested it. People are raving about this medication. And yes, when I went and researched, yes, I found that people have really good reports on this medication when it comes to weight loss, right? So he said, I want to put you on the medication. I'm going to start you on a low dosage, and then and then we can work our way up. And I said to him, okay, fine, doc. because he was concerned we really need to get the weight off in order for your organs and stuff to be relieved and for your organs to work properly. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do whatever the doctor says. He said, okay, fine. This is a medication that I will administer to you once a week, right? So you're gonna have to continue with it even when you're discharged, and you have to inject yourself like the diabetics do, um, once a week. So it's medication you're gonna have to take once a week. So I said, fine. And then if I always wondered every time he comes and checks, the doctors check on you in the morning, they check on you in the afternoon. Then he would ask me, are you not feeling nauseous? I'm like, no, I'm not. So I don't know, is it because of my size or whatever that maybe they didn't that they upped my dosage so quickly, because the medication, as I'm going to show you again, it comes in this color. Um, as far as I know. The only difference with this pen is the diabetics pen, the color is a different color. So Ozempic, the one for weight loss, is this color. If you want to know how this pen works, like medically, you want the medical terms, and they talk about the hormones and what else, go and watch one of the videos from the specialists, from endocrinologists, or from weight specialists, or doctors who speak about this medication, and they give it to you in detail. There's a Dr. Dan video on YouTube. This doctor's Dr. Dan, and he explains it so well. I literally understood it when he explained it in plain term. So I'm just going to give it to you according to my experience and the research that I could really find. Okay, so even though it's a diabetic medication, they are using this one. There's previous ones, but they're using this one, Ozempic, and then there's now other few for weight loss as well, because they've proven that it helps with weight loss, right, guys? So, like I said, this is the queasy part. They teach you at the hospital how to use this pen. You inject yourself with it, but you normally inject yourself on the stomach, like around the navel area, once a week. The needle is so small you don't even feel it. The only time I really know that the needle is in is when I feel this part of the pen hit my skin. So if you really want me to demonstrate, comment down below. I will make a video and show you how I inject myself. But it's so small you don't even feel it, and the pen is so easy to use. So like I said, the diabetic pens have a different color, whereas the Ozempic pens are all light blue. They come in different dosages. I'm currently on the 1 milligram dosage. So like I said to you earlier, so they started me on the previous pen. So the 1 milligram pen has this blue sticker, whereas the previous dosage, it's a 2-in-1. The dosage is, they start you on 0.25, and that same pen also has a 0.5. So they double the dosage every time. Like every 4 weeks or so, they double the dosage. I don't think it was 4 weeks. I think it must have been 2 weeks or so. They put me on 2.5, on 0.25 milligrams. Then they upped me to 0.5 milligrams. So when I was discharged, I finished that pen at home, the red pen with the one with the red sticker. I finished that one at home, which was the 0.5 pen up to the 0.5 dosage. Now I am on the 1 milligram, which is the blue pen, which is double the dosage. Now, when I started the medication, when they first administered it, I used to wonder, why is it that this doctor is asking me, do I feel nauseous? Am I not experiencing nausea? And I said to him, no. So he said to me, do me a favor, when you get your meals, like your breakfast, lunch, and supper here in the hospital, I want you to only eat half of your plate. And I said, okay, fine. I started eating half of the portions. And mind you, the hospital food is not a lot of food, right? But strange enough, half of the plate would satisfy me. I wasn't complaining about being hungry or whatever. And he used to ask me also, am I hungry, right? And I used to just say, no, I'm not hungry. I'm not feeling any hunger. But anyway, I think the second week that I was on, they upped the dosage. And that's when I started feeling this weird feeling, because I'm not somebody who gets nausea. I get heartburn, but I don't get nausea. So I wasn't very familiar with what nausea feels like. If I feel like I want to vomit, I just go and vomit. I don't go with a feeling saying, oh, I feel like vomiting. You understand? So that nausea feeling is not familiar for me. So I noticed that when I eat, I don't even go halfway on my plate of food, and I feel this really, I feel queasy, but I just dismissed it and thought, you know, I, I'm not okay. I'm not in my environment, so I dismissed it. But then, when I got home, when I was discharged, um, my mom helped, like that. The first week I was at home, my mom came and helped me. It's just there for me and things. Thank you, mommy. Love you. So my mom fixed me a plate of food the next day that I was discharged, for breakfast. And I remember I just ate like 3, 4 bites, and I said to my mom, I can't eat anymore. And I had my medication. And then when lunchtime came, my mom's like, oh, I'm hungry. What do you feel like having for lunch? I'm like, I don't really feel like anything. I don't have much of an appetite. And my mom's like, but you didn't eat much, for breakfast. Eat something, because you are on medication. You need to keep your strength up. And I forcibly ate, but, I also just 4, 5 bites and it was done. And then, it went on for 2, 3 days. And I'm like, no, man, maybe it's the medication or so. So one of the medication, because when I was discharged, they gave me a script of medication I must take at home, and it was like 6 pills, seven with a multivitamin. So I thought maybe it's one of these medications, and I started going through the medication, googling what is what. I'm a very inquisitive person. I'm like that at work as well. I like to dissect everything. I like to research. I like to read. So I went and I researched now. And then, no, it's not this. No, it's not that medication. No, it's not that medication. And then the last one was now this Ozempic. I went and I researched. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm experiencing the same symptoms of what they are talking about here. The same things. And then I went on YouTube and I went and, listened to the doctors. I watched those videos of that the doctors made. And then I watched the videos of people's testimonials about the medication. I'm like, oh my word, this is exactly what I'm going through. Like, this is exactly. So this is when I now realized it's this injection that is doing this. And I remember a week after that, I went back to the cardiologist, and I shook off some more weight. I shook off, like, in a week or 2 weeks time, I shook off almost 15, was it 19 Ks? It was almost 20. Yeah, something like that. I was still a bit queasy there. Ks, and I was like, whoa, this medication is fabulous. So I went and watched the videos again, and I'm like, it is this medication, man, that's doing this. This medication helps me. People see this as list this as a side effect, right? But for me, I'm just gonna say it's the effect it had on me. These 2 points. So the effect it has on me, that I feel like it's an upside for me, right, is the cravings has stopped, right? It's actually an appetite suppressant as well. So it takes away your appetite, not completely, obviously, but it's an appetite suppressor. The thing that blows my mind about this medication, that I still don't really understand how it works, is the fact that it took away my cravings. I don't crave anymore. Nothing, guys. I don't crave. I can't tell you the last time I had, I think it was before the hospital, that I had something sweet to eat or something sweet to drink, right? I haven't touched a piece of cake in, yeah, it's probably the third month now. I haven't drank anything sweet other than fruit juice, obviously. Um, since then, I don't crave sweet things. I don't crave things that I would normally crave, or cold drinks or sodas or whatever. I don't crave it. I don't have cravings per se. I used to love Samba chips. I used to love slap chips. I used to love, um, junk food like pizzas and KFC and McDonald's and things like that. I don't even crave them at all. This medication helps me in, even I don't even think about food. And I was the one who obsessed about food. I remember my lowest point in my life when I now tried to lose the weight on my own, and I probably hit rock bottom that day. I cried in front of my mom. I said to my mom, I cannot stop thinking about food. I crave it, I want it, and the fact that I can't have it is driving me insane. I was in tears. I was literally hysterically in tears, and I can't stop thinking about food. I missed it. It's almost like I was saying I'm grieving food. How can you grieve food? I mean, you can basically say I was a food addict, right? Um, so I used to crave food. I used to think about it morning, noon, and night. I was always thinking about food. So this medication has helped me with that. I won't lie to you guys. The only time I think about food is when my stomach says to me, listen here, can you like just throw something down here just for energy? And that 4 or 5 bites, that's it. This medication is restricting me from eating a lot. And even though I went on a diet and I started to exercise and stuff, the weight was just not coming off fast enough for me, right? I was impatient with myself. I was frustrated. And I was crying all the time. I was in a bad mood all the time. So now here's this medication. I haven't had a bad mood day in ages also, right? Because if you are hungry, you I take out my frustrations on the people around me. So I become moody, I become short-tempered. I was just terrible to be around. And I used to pray, God help me, God help me, you know? And like I said in my previous video also, I used to feel like I'm dragging or carrying this truck on my shoulders. And guys, it was rough. It was really rough for me, and it was hard. So now, after using this medication now, after the hospital, I'm not thinking about food. I'm not having cravings. I eat very little, guys. I mean, 4, 5, maybe 6 bites of my food, then I'm full. You know, and I just couldn't understand what was happening. Why am I eating so less, and why am I not thinking about it? So now, on watching these videos, I learned about certain things, like the hunger hormone, the GLP-1 hormone. It's a hormone that basically tells you, like, okay, now you are full. You can stop eating. So now, if I'm not on the medication, I mean before the medication, if I get that full sensation, right? I still look at my plate, I'm like, no man, let me finish the food. I'm gonna waste it and stuff, and you still go on eating even though you already got that signal that you are full. Whereas with this medication, it forces you, right? It forces me. Let me not say it. It forces me to stop eating. Because if I eat that 4, 5 bites, maybe 6 if I'm really hungry, or whatever, it's between those bites of food, then I would get that message that no, now you are full, you can put down your spoon, stop eating, right? So if I push and I go and I and I try and eat the seventh bite, then my tongue goes all funny. Like it's almost like it goes numb, but not numb as in I can't use my tongue or whatever. It's just that the food just doesn't have any taste. And if I force a eighth bite or more than that, then I get nauseous. I get very nauseous, and sometimes I also get like a bit of a cramp in my stomach, like an uneasy cramp. So I hate feeling nauseous. I hate it with my whole heart. So now I feel like I'm being controlled by this medication, because once I get that sensation of you are full now, put down your spoon, I put it down. I stop eating because I don't want that dead feeling on my tongue. I hate that feeling, and I don't want that nauseous feeling also. So it forces me to stop eating after the fourth or fifth bite of food. So just imagine, guys, how much food are you eating if you're just eating 4, 5, 6 bites of food? It's not very much. So I have opted now for myself to try and eat as clean as possible, because I don't want my body to be malnutritioned, right? So I make sure that I eat food that's going to feed my body the nutrients that it needs. So there's no time to eat junk food, or there's no chance to eat junk food. But guys, I won't lie to you. I have experimented. I've learned that this medication does not want carbs at all, right? If I do eat a slice of bread, then I'm sick for the day, right? So I can eat a half a slice, but also just like 2 bites from that half a slice of bread. And then the medication will say to me, that's enough. I don't want this. Or the medication will just tell me. I know I'm making it sound like this medication is a person next to me, but I feel like I've just been overtaken by this medication. I don't know how else to explain to you or compare to you what I'm going through. So the medication, my tongue will start feeling funny if I eat too much carbs. Or I'll be nauseous. So I stay away from carbs. I haven't had a slice of bread in a very long time. So I was naughty. I did try and test this medication, right? How far can I push it? So what has happened is, as I said to you, it doesn't like carbs. So things like pizza. I had pizza. I cannot go past one slice. Even when I get to the crust of that one slice, this medication tells me put it down. Put it down. That's enough, right? And I get that full feeling after taking maybe 3 or 4 bites of that slice of pizza. I get that full feeling. So then I put it down and drink water after that. Because if you drink juice after that, because fruit is also considered a carb because it's got sugar in it, then I'm sick. I'm sick after that. I'm sick, right? So I have tried it. I've tried burgers. I can't eat the bun of the burger. No. I can only go past half of the. I can only eat half of the patty on the burger, and maybe the tomato and the onions and the lettuce on the burger, but also just half, right? But the bun, no. This medication numbs my tongue. It just says no. You can eat the protein and the veggies, but leave the bread. I don't want it. So, guys, I've tried experimenting and seeing how this drug works. So now I just opt to eat my veggie and protein. So I learn. Now I'm adjusting, and I've learned the portion size that it likes. I don't even dish up food anymore in a plate. I dish up in a side plate, and I already know, like, okay, it likes this much veggies before I get nauseous. It likes this much meat, and I'm a meat lover. I love meat. But this thing will tell me, like, I don't care how much you love meat. I'm telling you, this piece is enough for you. Those are not the few effects that it's had on me. So the next thing I want to get into is now the downside of the medication for me, or the cons of the medication for me, right? So I've got two cons of the medication, or downsides of the medication for me. And that is basically the side effects. And the second one is the costs of this medication. So when it comes to the side effects, all of us go through, or most of us go through most of the side effects, or like 80% or 90% of the side effects we experience while on this medication. So top of the list, even the specialists will tell you when they do in their videos, that when they talk about side effects, the top of the list is the nausea. The nausea is the top of the list. Even I find I do get nauseous, you know. For me, like when I was in the 0.5 milligrams, I was always nauseous, always nauseous. I even called like the doctor, or sent him an email. He called me back. I said to him, "Doc, I can't handle. I'm so nauseous. It feels like dizziness, you know. That's how bad it is." And he said to me, you're just gonna have to stick it out. There's just nothing else I can tell you. Your body will get used to the medication, then the nausea will subside. It was only when I got on the 1 milligram pen, double the dosage, because I thought if I double the dosage, oh my gosh, the nausea is going to be double of what I'm feeling now. When I got on the 1 milligram pen, how the nausea, it subsided so much. I have few days where I have nausea, and it's not even an intense nausea like I felt with the 0.5 milligram. It's like just a minimal one, you know. I'll just eat the remedies. He gave me some remedies to use, or to do, or things to do when I do have nausea. You know, I hardly have nausea now, and when it does come, it's very subtle. The other side effect is diarrhea. Okay. So then we go into the third side effect, and that is constipation. I've also suffered from constipation. It's just that I don't suffer from it so much anymore. At the beginning, I did. Another one is also abdominal pain. I do get that from time to time when my stomach is really, really sore. There's like just this pain or whatever. So I just drink some water, or drink warm water or whatever, just to soothe my stomach. But then that's also something for another video. And that is basically it. But I've also just I've seen one or two other or few videos where people complain about their thirst. They are extremely thirsty. I do have those moments once or twice maybe in the week, where I just cannot stop drinking water. But now I've also just learned also other techniques in controlling that, because I am still on a diuretic. So I shouldn't be drinking excessive water. But I don't know. Like I said to you guys, this medication, I'm still learning how it's working with my body. I'm still doing research every day. If there's a new video out, I watch it and try and see if I'm still up to date, if I'm still understanding and things. So that's basically the side effects that it's so far I've experienced as well. So for me, this medication is, I feel like this medication is like I had bariatric surgery. I mean, I'm eating so little. I'm controlled. My appetite is controlled. My portions are controlled. I don't think even having bariatric surgery would have taken away the cravings, guys. I would have still been thinking about food. So I don't know how this medication works with your brain and things for me not to think about food. like I said, the only time I think about food is when I'm hungry, when my stomach really growls and says, hey, I'm hungry. And I find that I'm hungry 3 times a day. Like, I'm not so hungry in the mornings, but I eat because I have to take my medication. I mean, 6 pills, you can't take it on an empty stomach. But around about 12 or so, my stomach starts complaining. It's like, can you like just throw something down here for energy, since you are walking again and going about your day? So then I will fix myself something to eat according to the portions I know now the medication likes or is satisfied with. And then after that, then maybe around about 4:30, I'll have a small snack. I'll have either a little bit of olives, a little bit of biltong, or I'll have a few, you know, cherries or raspberries. This medication does not want a lot of fruit. It doesn't like it. If a fruit is too sweet, I literally gag automatically. Um, or it will tell me like, no, put it down. It's too sweet. Put it down. That's how this medication is. So I've learned that it likes berries, like strawberries, even cherries, raspberries, blueberries, all those little fruits that have a little bit of sourness with it. It likes it. Lemons and all that. It loves that fruit. And then apples, you can like the Granny Smiths. With the juices also, I don't just drink any of the juices, like only apple juice, and maybe if I push it, some grape juice. But the apple juice, it loves it. It loves clean apple juice or appetizer. It loves it. But obviously, only a third of the glass of grape juice or appetizer. Then I'm fine. After that, the whole day, I'm on water. And fun enough, I don't crave cold drinks or anything else. You know, if I go to the fridge, it's mostly just to get something to drink, and it's mostly just water or ice. So for me, this really feels like I had bariatric surgery because of how it limits me from eating too much food. This medication is not over-the-counter medication. Unfortunately, you can't also just walk into your doctor's office and say, doctor, write me a prescription for Ozempic. You can't do that. Your doctor has to send you for tests. Like with me, they send me for tests, like tested my insulin. They tested my organs, like your heart, your liver, your kidneys, and also the important one is the pancreas. They test those organs to make sure that you are okay to use the medication. Like I said, it's most a diabetic medication, so obviously they're gonna do insulin test. So now let me get into the other uh, um, the other con of the medication for me is the cost of this medication. This medication is expensive, guys, and the medical aid does not want to pay for it. They gave me some jargon, medical aid language, why they can't pay for the medication. But for me, in a nutshell, because they see this medication, not just as a diabetic medication, but also it's classified as a weight loss medication. And what makes it worse is that I'm not diabetic, so they just totally refused to pay for the medication. So I pay for it cash. This video is not sponsored by Ozempic. I pay for my medication cash, right? So you are likely to pay up to, it depends on which chemist you go to, you are likely to pay about up to 3,000 Rand, right? I don't know how much is that in dollars. You can convert it for yourself. And just imagine this little pen, this little pen is only a month's supply, because you inject yourself once a week. So you only get 4 injections out of this pen. You only get 4 needles that you replace every week. So it's just for a month. So every month, 3,000 Rand. This little thing. But for me, I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's worth it because it's helped me cope and deal with a lot of my issues. I still don't understand how it is that I just don't think about food. That still boggles my mind, guys. It boggles my mind. So also, according to my doctor, it's a medication that I'm gonna have to use for the rest of my life. That's what he told me. That's why he asked me, try and see if your medical aid if you can't put the medication on chronic, right? So he said to me, you're gonna have to use it for the rest of my life. He said to me, yes, it is, because obesity is a chronic condition, or is it a chronic disease? So basically, if you want the weight to stay off, you're gonna have to use it for the rest of your life. But if you want to get off the medication, chances are your appetite's gonna come back, the cravings are gonna come back, the obsession with food is gonna come back, and obviously then the weight is gonna come back. So in order to keep that under control, the medication will help you keep that under control, because you're bound. He said once the medication wears off, the appetite comes back, the cravings come back. So guys, it's something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I don't know what the future is gonna be like. I feel like maybe it's something that I have to just make peace with it, but it's still something that I'm still trying to, I don't know, just what I've learned now, what I'm learning still now is just to work still on a good diet. Yeah, I mean, 5-6 bites is not a lot of food to consume, so I want to make sure that I eat as clean as possible. I want to make sure that I drink as clean as possible, stuff, and it's really helped me, this medication. I won't lie to you guys, for me, this medication has helped me. I am still a bit skeptical about it, but so far the things, the research I've done, the videos I've watched, not just of people, normal people like me, but also of the specialists and doctors and stuff talking about it. It is a very good medication. That's what I've learned. You just have to get past the queasy part of injecting yourself. So guys, that is Ozempic. There's still a lot I wanted to say, but I don't want this video to be too long, because I think it's probably going to be longer than the other two before this. There's a lot to say about this medication that I can't put in one video. Maybe I can do another one, but it all depends on what your questions are, what your input is, what your curiosity is, so that I can make more of the videos. So thank you guys for listening to me. I hope this answers most of your questions. And also, just one more thing is, my dietitian and my trainer always would say to me that it doesn't matter how many hours you spend in the gym, how many hours you run or whatever. If you are eating incorrectly and you're consuming calories incorrectly, then what's the use of you training so hard? You understand? Your food must be right, your portions must be right. What you put into your body must be right in order for you to see results with the exercise. So think about it, guys. Think about it. But that is what I'm doing, or what is happening in my life right now, when it comes to losing the weight. And I hope this video really did answer most of the questions that people have been asking me when they see me in the street or in the mall or at church or at work or whatever. I hope it answered your questions. So I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me.